Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Northern Burlington County Regional High School. I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini and Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Wednesday, April 11th, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Rancocas Valley Red Devils in a great local matchup. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, Mr. Dowd. We get to do a big rivalry match here with Northern and RV, and it's great to be back here with you and Decker for another broadcast.
Yeah, it's our third boys volleyball game that we've done so far in their third year as well. So we've gotten one in every year, and I'm excited to do another one today.
Northern is led by head coach Mr. Ryan McConnell. He is a math teacher over at our middle school, and he's got this team fired up and ready to play. Northern finished last year with a record of 20-7, and they advanced to the playoffs and fell to the first seed, Hunterdon Central. RV's rebuilding a little bit. They come in here led by head coach Mr. Thomas Colling. He is a math teacher at Rancocas Valley High School, and that team finished 5-15 last year. But nevertheless, I know this is going to be a contentious matchup as these teams always play each other tough.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Dowd. Has some two back-to-back great serves there by senior Trevor Rossi. And this team's led by some seniors like Trevor Rossi, who's on the court right now, senior Alec Frick, and also senior Josh Apolito, who are players who have been with this program since it started about 3 years ago. And in a tie game here, Dylan London is going to serve it over here for the Red Devils.
Yeah, this team's going to be interesting going forward as, like you just said, they have a lot of senior leadership right now. So next year's going to be a little interesting as they try to move on from this senior class to the next group. But, yeah, Northern right now down 4-3 in the first set. And this rally's going pretty long.
And as you guys said, this team has really grown over the years. Last year, this team had some big wins. They defeated Eastern, who was ranked 17 in the state at the time. And they also had big quality wins versus teams like Williamstown, Donovan Catholic, Washington Township, Cherry Hill East, Clearview, Bayonne, Livingston, and RV. So it looks like we've got a really great matchup going on here.
A great spike there by RV to give them a 5-4 lead. And like you had just said, Mr. Dowd, for a very young program like the Hounds Volleyball is, they have been very successful in the 3 years that they've been here at the school, this being their fourth year. And so now down 6-4 to RV. The Hounds are going to look to try and regroup here as they had an early lead, but they've since given up 3 straight points.
And as you said, this team has continued to grow. They're actually lost some really quality seniors last year in Nick Sims, Caleb Hutley, Trent Custer, Flint Tuller, Jack Teich, and Matt Kohler. And those were really some leaders, but they've got some really great guys on the team this year, underclassmen and younger players as well. And it's clear that they're really gelling here early in the season.
It was a great set there by the Hounds as RV, unfortunately, gets to the point there as the Hounds were hitting the net as they were trying to set it over. It's a great spike there by Dalton Hutchinson to give the Hounds a tie here at 7-7, getting them right back in this game.
And he's coming off a great year last year with 69 kills and 44 blocks. He's got a career 76 blocks, and he was a first-team all-conference last year. So between him and Josh Apolito there, the LeBaron, they've got a great 1-2 punch there for the Hounds.
Yeah, it just seems like in this game nobody can really get into rhythm or get really started, as those are going to be 2 back-to-back bad serves by each team as the game is now tied at 8-8. Looks like nobody can really get the momentum going, and once somebody does, that'll probably be what gets this first set done.
So RV in the lead, 9-8. Make that 9-9 now, tie game. And as we stated earlier, this is going to be a really tough matchup for both teams. And despite RV struggling a little bit last year, they played Northern really tough. And no matter what the sport is, no matter what the season is, RV and Northern really have a really, a respect for each other and a heated rivalry.
They absolutely do, Mr. Dowd, and kind of like you had said earlier, Decker, that neither team has really been able to get into a rhythm. Part of that could be because this is such a big game and your energy you're so amped up and you've got a lot of adrenaline running as you play RV. And like Mr. Dowd had just said, RV and Northern Burlington have a history. They go way back, and like he said, both teams always seem to have a good game when they're playing each other, as the Hounds take an 11-9 lead here. But he's definitely not wrong when he says that, as when you're playing these two teams are playing each other, the adrenaline definitely runs high.
Yeah, and part of this back and forth start to the game, as Northern's going to actually start to pull away at 12-9. Could just be because it's the first set. They're getting back into it. They're getting warmed up. You're probably going to see some more runs happen later on in the match as both teams start to feel each other out and figure out where this game's going to be going. But it looks like we're starting to see them rally a little bit more. That's going to be a 13-9 lead for Northern now.
Yeah, great spike there by senior Alec Frick. Actually, we got two Fricks on the court here. Jake Frick's going to serve. He's a sophomore, and Alec Frick, who just spiked that last one, he's a senior. But like you had said, Decker, now that we're kind of getting deeper here into this first set, Northern seems to have calmed down, relaxed, and they've rattled off 5 straight points here. It's a great save there by Trevor Rossi to hit that one over, as it looked like RV was going to have an opportunity to try and get a point there.
Yeah, this Northern team seems so far to be very good at saving a block from the other team, as that one's going to sail a little bit past the line, and RV's going to get their first point in the last couple minutes and make this a 13-10 lead for Northern. We're going to get a quick regrouping here for RV as they're trying to get a better set, get a better rotation to try to maybe get this lead back and get back into contention.
Yeah, now down 13-10, Nate Motley's going to serve it, and that looks like that's going to be an ace there for RV, as Northern was unable to handle that. So cutting the lead now down to 2. RV trying to claw back into this game. Northern had rattled off 5 straight points, and now RV's rattled off 2 of their own. And that looks like that serve is going to go over, and Northern's a little bit confused, but able to get the ball over. RV with a spike there, and it looks like that one's going to go out of bounds, though, and it's going to give Northern the point there to give them a 3-point advantage here, 14-11.
Yeah, it just seemed like on that last serve it got a lot of net, and Northern had trouble fielding it, but they were able to make the play and get back up to a 14-11 lead. That one's going to sail just past the line and give RV the serve right back.
Yeah, so Trevor Rossi was unable to hit a good serve there. It's going to bring RV to within 2 again, as Joe Swaggid's about to serve it over here for RV, trying to keep them in this tightly contested matchup here as the Hounds handle the serve, and Alec Frick just hits it over as there was really no opportunity for a spike there. And RV with a nice set and spike. Jake Frick's going to set it here for the Hounds, and just a little dinker over the net there gives RV a chance to set up here, as they kind of do the exact same thing there. Neither team really spiking it here in these last few possessions. And a great block there by the Hounds as Dalton Hutchinson and Alec Frick both go up over the net there. However, looks like they might have hit the net trying to go over. That's going to be a point there for RV, keeping this game 14-13, and RV is now pulled within 1.
Yeah, Northern's defense set up a wall there, but unfortunately just got a little bit too much net and got caught touching it. Looks like Northern's trying to regroup as they've given away their 4-point advantage, and it's down to 1. But Northern's still ahead. They still got the lead, and they just keep fighting off these hard blocks by RV, off their spikes, as we just saw. It seems like Northern just is impenetrable right now. That one's going to be a point for Northern, make that 15-13 Northern.
Yeah, you're definitely right, Decker. Northern's got some tall guys up front who are very hard to get the ball over, and RV's kind of struggled with that here early. Now at 15-13, senior Josh Eppolito is going to serve it over here for the Hounds. He's been a varsity volleyball player since it's been recognized here at Northern back in the summer or spring, I should say, of 2014. And that's going to be a great spike there by RV, cutting the lead now down to 15-14. And recently that's kind of been as close as they've gotten, Decker. They've been able to get it to within 2 or 1 points, but they've never really been able to capitalize on those opportunities and get this game back to tied.
Yeah, but this real close first set just tells you how this matchup's probably going to be. We're probably going to see a couple close sets, maybe even take this one to 3. But both teams are going to be close and hard fought all the way through this game, most likely with how they've looked so far. Northern's back up by 2, 16-14.
Yeah, and if you're RV, you hate to shoot yourself in the foot kind of like that when on both possessions here as they serve it out of bounds and then unfortunately are unable to hit that one back over. But like I was saying, if you're RV, you never want to have points like that happen where you just kind of make mental mistakes and don't really give yourself an opportunity. It's kind of like a turnover in basketball. If you turn the ball over in basketball, you never even give yourself an opportunity to score. And if you serve the ball out of bounds, you never give yourself a chance to get a point here in volleyball. So Northern now rattling off 3 straight points, making this an 18-14 lead. Senior Sean Cruz doing a nice job here serving for the Hounds.
Yeah, it seems like Northern's finally been able to figure this game out and start to pull away. Can't tell if that one was tipped. I think it's going to be a Northern point, make that 4 straight, and we're going to get an RV timeout.
And right as you had said, Decker, that when it was 15-14, then it might have been a close first set that would have been telling of the match. Northern since rattled off 4 straight points here to give himself a 5-point advantage. That's a nice shot there by the Hounds, and they're able to keep it up with some nice play. A nice save there by RV is they're able to handle the spike, and that one's going to go out of bounds there, and the Hounds are going to get their 5th straight point, giving them a 6-point advantage here, 20-14 here in this first set.
Yeah, I just want to point out the discipline of, I believe, Trevor Rossi on that last play, not hitting the ball and realizing it was going to go out of bounds and saving a point for Northern. That one's going to be just a little bit of a miss hit on the serve, and RV's going to try to close back in, now down 20-15 in this first set.
And it's never easy if you're RV and when you give up 5 straight points like that to try and rattle off 5 more of your own, which is what they're going to look to try and do here. They're going to try and look to get this game back to the closest that I had earlier in the match. But down 5 here. The Hounds are going to look to try and hit a spike there from Trevor Rossi, and that one looked like it might have sailed out of bounds, but RV in the back there was able to make a nice play, and they're going to get another point here. 2 straight of their own, making this a 20-16 match.
Yeah, we're starting to see like a series of smaller runs happening later in this game. Northern went for 4 earlier, then RV went for 3. Now Northern went for 5, and RV's going up for 2. But, yeah, it looks like they're starting to go back and forth with runs, and RV's going to serve again.
And, Decker, that was something you had said earlier, that once these teams both settled into the match, we'd see more runs going on, and you really kind of hit the nail on the head there. Northern had a 5-0 run. Now RV's got a 3-0 run of their own, and they're looking extremely good here at the end of this first set. As we'd seen earlier in the match, neither team was really able to get anything going. They were missing serves and not hitting spikes well, and now this is a 3-point match here, 20-17 with the Hounds in the lead. Looking to try and get some momentum back on their side as there's a great spike there by Dalton Hutchinson, but RV with a fantastic play to keep it alive. And the Hounds are going to try and regroup. There's a nice spike there by Jake Frick, is able to put it right in between the defense, not hitting it nearly as hard as Hutchinson did a minute earlier, but found the right spot, and the Hounds are now back up 4.
Yeah, that's the combination when you come to a spike, whether you want to do the power or the finesse move, and it looked like Jake Frick went up there and decided he was going to go with a finesse shot. That one's going to be a serve out of bounds, and RV's going to get a point. Now down 21-18. They're starting to close the gap, trying to get back into this one before it ends, make Northern have to work for the first set.
Yeah, Decker, they've certainly done that, and this is definitely what we expect from a Northern Burlington versus RV match here. A 4-point first set advantage here for the Hounds, 22-18. But when these, like we said, schools play each other, it's always highly contested in any sport. You always want to beat RV if you're Northern, and if you're RV, you always want to beat Northern. So another good disciplined play there by Dalton Hutchinson, allowing that ball to go out of bounds when it looked like it might have been a close call. Instead, now it's 23-18 lead here for the Hounds, and hopefully the Hounds can kind of go on another run like they were doing earlier in the game, as they had a 5-point advantage here late in this first set. There's a nice play there by RV to keep that ball up in the air. However, that ball's going to hit the net. It's going to be a Northern point there, giving them a 24-18 lead.
So Northern 1 point away here, and who better than to get the win for this first set than Dalton Hutchinson. Been playing really well this game, and I thought that was going to be the game point there, but RV's really fighting hard, and they know that, this game is far from over even if they lose this first set. And it looks like they're going to get the point. So RV still into this one, looking to not switch sides just yet.
Yeah, I really think this whole game today is going to work out to who makes the least mistakes. As we've seen a lot of service errors so far. A lot of the balls just sail a little too far out of bounds. Looks like that's going to be the first round for Northern. They're going to go up 25-19 in the first set.
So, second set underway here at the farm. And again, for those just tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini and Mr. Decamaro. We are here live. It is Wednesday, April 11th, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Rancocas Valley Red Devils in a great local matchup. Northern took the first set 25-19, but these two teams, as we stated earlier, really face each other tough, no matter what the sport. So I expect this one to go 3, and still anybody's game.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Dowd. I really wouldn't expect anything less than for this match to go 3 sets, as RV is going to take a 2-1 lead here on that kind of finesse move there, Decker, as you would alluded to earlier. Just finding the right hole in the court. The Hounds are going to try and do everything in their power to make sure that this match doesn't go 3 sets, though, as when you're playing RV, you know it can go either way the entire game, so you want to try and get rid of them as soon as you can. But now down 2-1, the Hounds are going to look to try and regroup here and give themselves another lead here in this set.
You know, we have a really exciting spring season underway here at the farm. And Kyle, I know you're a varsity athlete yourself. You play baseball. Decker and I actually just did that game 2 days ago as the Greyhounds defeated the Cherry Hill East Cougars. But a lot of excitement here as the spring season is underway. A lot of teams with some high expectations. Kyle, what can you tell us about some of those teams?
Yeah, Mr. Dowd, definitely this volleyball team as we're doing right now. I got high expectations for them. As you had said, they were 20-7 last year and made the state playoffs. So being a perennial contender here in their time at Northern Burlington. As you guys had said, you did the Cherry Hill East game for the baseball team. Definitely got big expectations for us. Got our first win, like you guys had said. That was our first win was against Cherry Hill East, so it's always big to get the first one. The floodgates will sort of open once you get that first win, as that ball's going to go out of bounds to give RV the point. But hopefully baseball can have another successful season. The girls' softball team's the same thing. Their team is mostly filled with sophomores, so that's going to be a great team for years to come, as they were fantastic last year. And much of the same for that team this year. We expect them to always be good, as that serve's going to sail out of bounds. A service error there by RV, giving the Hounds a 4-3 advantage. Boys and girls lacrosse, always expect both of those teams to do well. They both made the state playoffs last year, and both teams are always very successful. As well as the boys tennis team, who, like we had said, all these sports teams here at Northern are always good. And the Northern Burlington golf team also, senior Alex Mayernick, it'll be his final year. He had made the state tournament last year. It was the first time that it happened in Northern Burlington, so a very successful season for him last year. Always expect much of the same out of him. You know, when he's out there on the course, you know that anything can happen, as that's a point there for RV, is that spike just goes out of bounds.
So lots of exciting things happening, and we just did, as we stated, Decker and I did the boys baseball game a couple days ago. We're actually going to be doing a game later today as well. Boys lacrosse is taking on RV as well, so it seems to be a tough week here for the Greyhounds. We'll also be on hand tomorrow as the softball team takes on the Red Devils in what looks to be a really tight matchup.
Yeah, talk about a busy schedule. That's 4 games in just 1 week for us. So we're going to hope to be able to keep this run going. We saw a win yesterday. We could potentially see 2 more today and maybe even another one tomorrow, as this second set's just as close as the first one was, but it seems like the roles have swapped and Northern's trying to play a little catch-up behind RV today.
Now you can follow this action on Twitter at NBC_athletics, and that's run by our athletic director, Dr. Dan Uzak. He does a great job keeping everybody plugged in. And you can follow Northern TV on Twitter at Northern_TV. We're also on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Channel 42. We have a YouTube channel, and you can check out our app at appcatch.com to find out all kinds of things about Northern sports, Northern programming, DVD sales, sponsorship opportunities, and much more. And Northern gets a point right there and have closed the deficit to 1 in what looks to be another tight set between the two teams.
Yeah, that was a vicious spike there by the Hounds, closing the gap now to 7-6. They've been playing catch-up kind of this entire second set, unable to have a lead except for when they were – actually, I don't believe they have had a lead. They've only been tied, as that ball looks like it's going to go out of bounds there on RV, and it's going to bring the Hounds back to even here. A 7-7 game, as Jake Frick's going to serve over here for the Hounds.
And Jacob Frick was a freshman last year, played some varsity minutes, and he had some pretty good stats, 40 assists, 4 kills, 3 aces, and obviously his role has grown as they've looked to lean on some of their younger guys this year. He also has his brother Alec Frick, who plays on the team as well. Alec had a tremendous season last year as well with 49 kills and 12 blocks. So I think it's always exciting when you have brothers on a team, and Kyle, you can attest to that, right? You played varsity golf with your own brother your freshman year, so I think it always means a lot when you have family out there on the court. And our team, they're really gelling, and I think that's a credit to the coaching staff, Coach McConnell, building this program up in just a few years.
Yeah, you can really see this young team in terms of how long even been in existence is really starting to gel together. They've had a couple good seasons, and they're hoping for more of the same this year. As this second set has gotten to tied at 8-8, we saw a very similar start to the first set, as Northern's trying to really get a nice lead, start to get comfortable, and it looks like that one's going to go the other way, make it 9-8 RV.
And as you guys stated, Northern's really has been playing catch up in this second set. They won the first set. It was close, but they seem to be in the driver's seat early, and now RV's come back, and as we stated, these two teams always play each other tough. Northern is led by, as we stated, Josh Ippolito is one of their standouts. He was a first all-area selection last year, and he actually won an NJ.com poll for Best Junior Dig Leader last year as well. He had 183 digs, 11 aces, and he's really one of the leaders here on this squad.
He definitely is, Mr. Dowd, as RV's going to take a 3-point advantage here in this second set. But like you had said, Josh Ippolito is a great leader here for this Hounds team, as well as Dalton Hutchinson, Trevor Rossi, Alec Frick. All those seniors that have been here since this program was started are really going to mentor these young guys this year and set them up for the future, as this team has an opportunity to be very successful this year, as RV is going to get another point here, making it a 12-8 game.
Yeah, and we're going to get a timeout here for Northern. But as I was just starting to say, this is pretty much the same point in the first set where Northern started to walk away a little bit, started to get a little bit of a gap going from RV. And it looks like we're going to have this one start to go the other way around, as Northern's going to look to close it up, now down only 12-9. It's a 3-point game in the second set. Northern won the first one and just trying to close this one out.
As we stated, the Greyhounds program has come a long way in just a few years, and actually they were led by players like Matt Kohler and Jack Teich the last few years. Kyle, what can you tell us about those guys?
Mr. Dowd, Matt Kohler was a 2-time all-area selection, so they had very successful seniors in the program last year. Kohler led the area last year with 443 assists and had 17 aces for the Greyhounds. And Jack Teich, he was pretty much the cornerstone of that program. He was a 2-time all-area player and led the Greyhounds with 229 kills. So that both of those seniors that they had last year, who were there since the program has started as well, were extremely successful in mentoring these young guys that we've got on the court now. The seniors that are trying to bring these young guys along that are in this game at the moment were getting mentored by those seniors that were there last year. So it's kind of been a great way for this program to gel together and for this team itself to kind of realize what they can become. And those two guys that they had on the team last year were really cornerstones for this entire program to get confidence, and the point's going to go there to Northern.
So the Greyhounds looking to cut into this lead. Looks like that timeout really helped motivate the players a little bit. Currently down by 2 in the second set. The Greyhounds took the first set 25-19. So they're looking to get back into this second set and hopefully pull off a big win here in front of the home crowd. We actually did Northern's game a few days ago as well versus Cherry Hill East. That was a baseball game, Decker and I, and Northern got a big victory there in front of the home crowd. So looks like the volleyball team is looking to build on some of the success of the other teams, try to get a big win.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be able to have your other teams winning games right before you have to play, as Northern's starting to cut into this deficit. It really just helps motivate you because you want to be just as good as all those other teams that are winning. You want to be able to keep that momentum alive, keep Northern's teams progressing, and try to get even more wins as the season goes on. We're going to see Micah Whitman serve.
You guys really kind of hit the nail on the head there, Decker and Mr. Dowd, when you said when you're a spring athlete and you're watching the other teams win, you want your team to do the same thing. Nobody wants to be the team that's not winning. You kind of feed off of everybody else's energy. When you watch the teams be as successful as they are, you always want to be, just like everybody else and get as many wins as you can. And the volleyball team's no different, as that was a vicious spike over there by the Hounds. Looked like that was Dalton Hutchinson there, making this now a 2-point game. And Decker, we really haven't seen a run here from Northern like we did in the first half, where they'd rattled off 5 or 6 points in a row. It's really kind of been all RV with the occasional Northern 2 or 3 points in a row.
Yeah, but if they keep doing what they've been doing these last few points, they've been getting 2 for every 1 RV's been getting, and they've been able to close this gap down to 1. Of course, you'd like to have a big run like that, but sometimes the game just doesn't really give you one of those massive runs. As Northern's now down 16-15, only 1 point, and they're just looking to get their first real significant lead of the set so far.
And that looks like it was going to go out of bounds, and RV is going to get the point, 17-15, but still anybody's game here at the farm. And we're actually coming off a really successful winter season as well. We had 2 really competitive bowling teams with girls and boys bowling. Swim team rebuilding a little bit, but got a big win versus Holy Cross this year. The track team was really competitive. The girls basketball team actually hosted a state playoff game for the first time since 2013. And the wrestling team finished second, always highly competitive. We had 3 District 22 champs, and Ellery Perfect, Billy Nolan, and Chris Ratty. And the boys basketball team, we had the privilege of doing a couple of their games, guys. We're 20-9, and they actually won the BCSL for the first time in 45 years and advanced to the sectional semifinals. So a lot of excitement in the winter season, a lot of excitement here today as Northern is looking to get back into this one. Currently down 18-15 in the second set.
Great spike there by Trevor Rossi. And like you had said, Mr. Dowd, both winter and fall sports this year for the Northern were very successful seasons, and the spring is hoping to be no different. Baseball got a big win yesterday, and now we've got RV and Northern Burlington here in this great matchup for volleyball. So down 2 points here in the second set. Like Decker had said earlier, it's kind of been Northern getting 2 points for every 1 RV point here later in this set as they get another point in a row there. That's their second straight here. Trying to close this gap and get to within a tie, hopefully. They've kind of been down this entire set, but obviously it only matters about what the score is at the end, and Northern certainly knows that and is going to try their hardest to make this a tie game here.
Yeah, this first set looks almost like a mirror image of the this second set looks just like a mirror image of the first set, as we've seen RV being the aggressors in this one. They've just only been able to have a very small lead the whole time, similarly to how Northern just had a small lead the whole first set. But it looks like Northern's been able to keep it even closer, and they've been able to try to close the gap on occasion, getting down to only 1, but this time it looks like RV's going to get the point and make it a 20-17 lead.
So RV's going to get the serve, and again, it's the first team to 25 points, wins. Northern took the first set 25-19, but still very much in this one. In the second set of a really tough matchup. Look like Trevor Rossi there with a spike attempt. And we got quite the volley going back here.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very good volley. Probably the best one we've seen here in this second set, as RV is going to give a point there to Northern to pull within 2. But like we had said, that was a great set. RV doing a nice job keeping the ball up when they were trying to get a point there, and Hounds doing the same thing. Had a couple of close calls there, but were able to get the point there at the end. As Trevor Rossi, the senior here, going to serve it for the Hounds to try and keep the momentum going, and it looks like that's not going to stay in bounds there, as RV is going to get a point to go back up 3.
Trevor Rossi's coming off a pretty successful year last season with 52 digs and 13 aces. And as you stated, one of the leaders of the Greyhounds this year.
Yep, so we've seen a couple nice volleys in the last run. It looks like Northern's going to just try to keep RV from being able to pull away, as they're now down 19-21. So Northern's still only down by 2. Got Josh Abolito serving, and Northern's just trying to be able to get right back into this and potentially clear RV in 2 straight sets.
So it looks like RV's going to get the point there, and just a few points away from getting a big win, a much-needed win here in the second set. You know, Northern wins this one. They get the victory, but RV's fighting them hard, and it's still a 2-point game, and anything can happen here with these two teams going at it. RV currently in the lead 21-19, but Northern's got the serve and hopefully can be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, down 2 here still late in the second set. The Hounds haven't had a lead this entire set, and RV doing a nice job with the spike there, giving themselves a 3-point advantage here. So trying their hardest to claw through this match and just scathe by and get a much-needed win here in this second set. Northern's obviously going to do everything in their power to make sure that that doesn't happen, but with all the momentum here this second set, if there has been any, because it's been very highly contested, has been with RV, as Northern's kind of been deflated and not been able to grab a lead here in the second set. But a nice play there by the seniors, Hutchinson and Frick. RV, though, doing a nice job being able to keep it up, and a great spike there by RV. Gives them a 4-point advantage.
Looks like we're getting a timeout here to kind of break the momentum that RV's got going. And we'll see what the Hounds have here in the second set. Down 4, but still anybody's game.
Yeah, and if you're Northern, you're trying to avoid giving up too many points right at the end of this set, because you kind of want to be able to have some sort of momentum coming into the third and final set at this point, because you don't really know if you're going to be able to complete the comeback. But as long as you can get a few points, get within maybe 2 to end this, you can kind of feel the momentum start to come back, as that's going to be a point for Northern, just as I was talking about right there, now down by 4.
And it looked like RV was trying to catch Northern there off guard, but just fell short. And the Hounds are still into this one, down 24-20 in the second set. And unfortunately, that looks like it's going to do it. That point's going to go to RV. They're going to take the second set as we head into the third set with both teams getting a win and the final set here to play. And Northern's going to start off with a big serve here in the third set. And again, for those just tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini, Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Wednesday, April 11th, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the RV Red Devils in a great varsity volleyball matchup.
Pretty much what we expect to hear so far today, guys. A 3-set match here between Northern and RV. Expect nothing less. Two teams that always want to win when they're playing against each other, and always play extremely close games no matter the sport. And RV's really had a lot of momentum here in this second half, or second set and third set, I should say. But Jake Frick doing a nice job there, getting Northern on the board here in this third set, I should say. And I'm sorry, that looks like that point's going to go to RV. Frick looked like he might have hit it twice or had it touch the net, as that serve catches a lot of net there by RV, and Alec Frick's unable to put it over. So RV getting off to a very hot start here, up 3-0 early.
As we take a pause in the game action here, I want to remind our viewers that this upcoming 21st, the Northern Burlington Annual Athletic Hall of Fame will be held at the Old York Country Club in Chesterfield. Dinner is at 6 p.m., and we have a great lineup of inductees this year, including athletes Anthony Calley, James Humble, Kerry Lee Williams, Michael Shaw, Coach Doug Daniels, the 1980 softball sectional champions, as well as honorary inductee Miss Michelle O'Neill, who's done a great job for our athletic department the past 40 years. So I'd love for our community members to come out. Still time to sign up for the Athletic Hall of Fame as we continue this great athletic matchup here at the farm. Now you can check out Northern TV for some other exciting programming, not just Northern sports, but we have a lot of exciting events from the past fall and winter, including our high school and middle school concerts, our flagship program, the Northern News, our Students of the Month. We have an informative video on the recent FFA week this past winter, as well as Month of the Military Child video, program of studies, and much, much more. So be sure to check us out on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Channel 42, our YouTube channel as well. Lots of ways to stay plugged in, lots of ways to see everything here going on at Northern. Now, there's going to be no rest for the Greyhounds. They will be taking on West Windsor Plainsboro North. That'll be tomorrow here at Northern. That game's going to start at 4 p.m. And they also have a big tournament coming up, and that's also going to be on the weekend of April 21st, where they're going to be taking on a lot of different teams in the hopes to, get some friendly competition in with some teams and see what other kind of volleyball players in the state they're up against. These two teams, Northern and RV, will play again on May 7th. That game will be at RV. So if you're around, we'd love for our parents, students, community members to come and support our Greyhounds. And the boys will end their season at home on May 10th, and that's going to be versus Camden County Tech. And of course, the boys may have a playoff appearance in their future. We'll see how the season plays out. So certainly a lot of volleyball left to play in this game and a lot of volleyball left to play in the season as Northern looks to hopefully pull out a big win here in front of our home crowd. A lot of exciting action going on here today at the farm. The boys varsity golf team will be taking on Burlington Township. That's at the Old York Country Club, obviously our home course. The boys varsity tennis team is going to be taking on Pemberton Township at Pemberton Township High School, so we wish them the best of luck. As I stated earlier, we're going to be filming Northern TV on hand for the boys varsity lacrosse game. That game is going to be starting in just a little bit at 4 o'clock as the Greyhounds take on RV in another great local matchup. The boys baseball team is taking on Haddonfield Memorial. That's going to be here at the farm. And as we stated earlier, broadcast student Decker Morrow and I recently announced the boys' first win of the season versus Cherry Hill East, and that was back on Monday. So we wish all of our teams the best of luck here, and obviously our boys volleyball team looking to get a big win in front of the home crowd. We have a really exciting spring sports season underway, and a lot of our teams finished pretty well last year. The baseball team went 12-10 last year. They advanced to the state playoffs, as we said earlier. Boys tennis finished 10-8. Golf team struggled a little bit at 5-12, but they're looking to have a bounce back season. Girls lacrosse finished 8-8, advanced to the state playoffs, and boys lacrosse was actually really good last year, finishing 13-8, and actually got a playoff win. So lots of exciting events going on here at the farm this spring, athletically and otherwise. We have a full gamut of things coming up in May and in June. On May 2nd, we have our first annual JROTC National Awards Ceremony. That's going to be in the 500 building. We also have our high school band and chorus concerts. The band concerts are going to be May 23rd, May 24th. The chorus concerts are going to be May 30th and May 31st. We have our annual Greyhound Choice at the high school and the annual Greyhound Gala at the middle school. That's going to be on May 15th and 16th, respectively. We have our Scholars Night at the Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst. That's going to be on June 5th. That's honoring our underclassmen, as well as our Senior Awards, and that's going to be on June 7th. And finally, we're going to wrap up the school year, Graduation 2018, on June 22nd, Friday this year. Push back a couple days for snow. Looking to be a great event. So we'd love for our families, friends, community members, students, athletes, everyone to come out and support Northern in all things, athletically and otherwise. As Northern takes on RV today, twice actually, one in boys volleyball and again boys lacrosse. So we look ahead at the schedule, the spring sports schedule. The varsity track team will be taking on RV. That'll be on Tuesday, April 24th at 3:45. We also have the girls lacrosse team taking on RV on April 25th. That's going to be here at the farm, both those games. We'd love for our family, friends, community members to come out and support our teams. And then the boys varsity baseball team will be taking on RV on May 11th. So lots of ways to stay plugged into Northern Athletics, lots of ways to keep up this heated rivalry, and certainly this game is no different, as both teams looking for a big win, and both teams are playing extraordinarily well. And obviously we're rooting for Northern, but we're also rooting for a good game. So we've gotten that so far here in the third set, and both of these teams are looking to capitalize on the other's mistakes and hopefully get a big win and a big division win. So this game far from over, and as we saw, Northern won the first set 25-19, lost the second set in a very close matchup as well, 25-19 to RV, and it looks like both of these teams are really giving it their all here in the third set, as both of them look to get a big division win in front of the home crowd here at Northern. So still anybody's game, and certainly our seniors are doing a great job here tonight trying to get a big-time win in front of the home crowd, and we wish them the best of luck moving forward. And as I said, stay tuned to Northern TV, as we'll be doing immediately following this game the boys varsity lacrosse team versus RV as well, and that should be a great matchup, as both those teams look to be division leaders this season.
So tied at 10 here in this third set. The Hounds doing a nice job keeping it up there. Is Alec Frick unable to put it over the net there. It's an unfortunate error there by the senior, but only down one here, and the Hounds are quick to pick them up to let them know that point doesn't mean everything. It just means that they're going to be coming from behind a little bit here in this third set. But like I said, only down one. The Hounds looking to try and get their way back into this match.
And we've been talking about this all afternoon, guys, and we knew this was going to be a tough matchup for both teams, and we knew that RV was looking to get some revenge against Northern, as the Greyhounds defeated the Red Devils last year. But here we are in the third set, still anybody's game, and I know both these teams really need a win. RV in the lead right now, 13-10, but still a lot of volleyball left to play, and I know the Greyhounds had a really tremendous season last year, as we discussed, so they're not going to let a few points deficit get them down.
We've already seen Northern come back from a pretty sizable gap this game, as they were down quite a bit early, just in this set alone. But make this now a 4-point advantage for RV as they're on the run, trying to just clear past Northern and get a big road win. But Northern's going to do their best defensively to try to make a couple stops, claw their way back in, and potentially win the third set and walk home victorious.
So Northern currently down 14-11, and still the game is far from over. But I do want to take this opportunity, obviously, to thank our Northern TV crew, our facilities department, our athletic department, our teachers and staff, Mr. Pona, our other video production teacher, our camera operators, Miss Carrington Corbin, Miss Natalie Cook, Miss Ashley and Emily Walsh. Also want to thank our intern Andrew Baez for his outstanding production work, as well as you guys who are providing some excellent commentary. So Northern currently down only 2 points here in the third set, with one of their team leaders, Josh Ippolito, serving.
Yes, Mr. Dow down 14-12. The Hounds still trying to claw their way back into this one. Haven't had a lead in quite some time, and that one's going to go out of bounds there on the Hounds to give. Oh, I'm sorry, that's going to be a point there for the Hounds, and they're going to be up 14, or they're going to be down 14-13. So still trying to fight in this match. Down 1 point now. Looking to make this a close one coming down here towards the end of the match. The senior Josh Ippolito is going to serve it over here for the Hounds.
And that looks like that's going to tie the game for Northern. So as we said, a lot of fight left in the Greyhounds, rallying in this one, looking to take a lead here in the third set, trying to get a big victory in front of the home crowd. And want to thank our students, staff, family members, and community members for coming out. Always a great turnout here at the farm, and today is no different, as this is a really great matchup between two local teams.
Yeah, and this is a match I'm sure no one wanted to miss, as Northern's taken on one of their biggest rivals, and they made it all the way to the third set, really without anybody being able to claw away. Northern was only won by 6 in the first set. RV won by 5, and this game, this third set's only a 15-14 match so far, and everything's on the line. Each team's really competing hard, so I'm pretty sure everybody wanted to see this one.
And getting a big win early in the season versus your rival can mean a lot for both these teams. And as we stated, Northern had 20 wins last year, looking to build on that as well. And they currently have this one tied with plenty of volleyball left to play here in the third set.
The game here tied at 15. The Hounds looking to try and grab the lead and hopefully hold on for the rest of the match, as that one's going to be a point there for RV, as they're going to take a 16-15 lead. Still really haven't had a lot of momentum if you're the Hounds. Every time they've got the match to within 1 or tied, RV's been able to pull away and get at least 1 or 2 points in a row. So now up 16-15, the Red Devils will serve. The Hounds looking for some momentum, and maybe that's going to be the start of it, as that's going to be a service violation there by RV. It's going to tie the game at 16 here. And senior Ryan Kabaha for the Hounds going to serve now with the game tied.
So Northern looking to take the lead, and as you said, hopefully can get a good rally going here and pull off a big win. Certainly anybody's game with the game tied at 16. That looked like a great block there by Hutchinson at the net in the third set here, and that's going to be a point for the Red Devils. So RV's making them work for it, and they're currently in the lead 17-16, but still anybody's match here in the third set.
Yeah, the problem is if you're Northern, you realize that this is exactly how the first 2 sets have gone. One team's been slightly ahead and the other team's been trailing. And so far it hasn't worked out for the team that's been behind most of the matches. Both sets, the team that was leading pretty much the whole time ended up coming away with a win. And right now Northern's behind, but that doesn't mean that they can't come back and win this one. It just is a little bit more difficult, as it looks like that's going to be another RV point to put them up 18-16 late in the third set.
So still a lot of volleyball left to play. Red Devils currently in the lead, 18-16, third set. And again, for those just tuning in, I am Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Decker Morrow, Mr. Kyle Forsini. We are here live at the farm. It is Wednesday, April 11th, as the Northern Burlington varsity volleyball team takes on the Rancocas Valley Red Devils. And it's really been a tremendous matchup. And this is actually going to be the first of a Northern sports doubleheader today. We're actually going to be doing the boys lacrosse game versus RV immediately following this. So lots of action at the farm as Northern closes the gap here. Only down 1 point in the third set. Looks like we're going to get a quick substitution. And Dalton Hutchinson, one of the team leaders, is going to serve here for the Greyhounds.
Trying to get them to within, or trying to tie the game, I should say, are the Hounds, and some great plays there by, looks like, senior Matt Liedke, as the Hounds are able to tie this game here, tied at 18. They've got senior Dalton Hutchinson serving. They've got one of their trusted seniors here. And with this game tied, the Hounds are looking to try and grab a lead here and hopefully not look back late here in this third set. Been a highly contested matchup the entire way. And the Hounds are going to look to try and set up a big spike here from, looks like Trevor Rossi doing a great job there with the pinpoint placement, making it 19-18 for the Hounds.
Yeah, and that's Northern's first real lead of the set late into this one, as they're up 19-18, trying to just be able to come away with the win, as it seems like all the momentum has started to shift Northern's way. Now, being up late in the third set and make that a 2-point lead, 20-18. It's only Northern's only 5 points away from taking home the win.
And it looks like we're going to get another timeout here, and certainly those have been strategically called by both teams as coaches look to, break the other team's momentum or motivate their players. And Northern's cruising in this one now up 21-18. We knew it was going to be a tough matchup, and certainly the game is far from over, but the Greyhounds are in the driver's seat here in the third set.
Yeah, and it's funny how momentum can work like that, with just the Hounds getting a few points in a row, and now they've rattled off 5 points in a row, guys. I think they've really put up, I think, almost 5 points in a row here, and they've kind of started to dust RV, and hopefully they're going to be able to finish it here and get the final 3 points of this set and try and take home a huge, hard-fought W here today. Jake Frick looking to try and have some nice placement there for the Hounds, but RV does a nice job being able to corral it and do a nice job getting it back over. But Trevor Rossi looks like he's going to try and spike it there for the Hounds, unable to connect on a nice shot, and a good block there by the Hounds, by Jake Frick and Matt Liedke, making this a 5-point advantage here late in this third set for the Hounds.
So 2 points away from getting a big victory here. Greyhounds on top 23-18 in the third set. Hutchinson serving. And they've really got RVs sort of back to the wall here, and that's going to be another point for the Greyhounds, now 1 point away from getting this victory.
Yeah, down 18-16. Northern knew all they had to do is just get a couple points going. They could start to make a comeback. They're now up 24-18. So that 8-point swing right at the end of the game is going to be huge as Northern looks to close it out here and potentially just win this one 25-18. Instead, that one's going to sail out of bounds. We're going to get another serve.
So the Red Devils clinging on, getting a much-needed point there to stay into this one. Greyhounds 1 point away from getting a big victory here at the farm in front of our home crowd. So RV with the serve here. And Northern looking to pull this one out. And great save there by the Red Devils staying in this one. I thought that was going to be it, folks, but Northern going back and forth with RV, and I'll tell you what, the Red Devils are really making them earn it today, but that looks like it was going to do it, but RV is really staying alive, and that's it. So great job by our boys. Great win for the Greyhounds, for all of us here at Northern TV. On behalf of Decamaro, Kyle Forsini, and Mr. James Dowd, signing off.